Hey, this is Gene at DNS Bait, and this report is current as of Friday the 20th here. Let's start with our hours because we have special hours for Christmas. Presently, we're open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Sundays from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Christmas Eve, we'll be open from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we'll be closed on Christmas Day. We'll reopen the day after and resume our regular hours right through the 1st of January. We won't have any special hours. We'll just be open our regular hours on the 1st. As far as fishing reports go, we've got a lot of ice around the area right now. Lake Mendota is totally capped over, although there's not a lot of ice way out on the lake. I did talk to some guys who were out perch fishing yesterday out in their hovercraft. They said there's about 2.5 inches of ice out there. They did find some fish, so if we get some decent ice, we're looking forward to a decent winter out there for perch fishing. As far as bluegills go around the lake, there are still some guys poking around in Marshall Park and Spring Harbor, but that bite's pretty much over. Up there on Cherokee Marsh, there's guys fishing up there yet. That bite has slowed way down, but they do get some nice crappies and bluegills at times. Otherwise, there's some small fish around. And they've been getting some pike over on the city shoreline over by James Madison and Burley Street. And once in a while, even a few pike over here in Warner Bay. Lake Monona is froze over. There are guys out perch fishing on the lake, although I haven't had any really good reports. I have had reports of guys catching some perch out there. And in several areas, over off of Law Park, off of Wild Haven, and over off the way northeast side of the lake, over kind of off the river. I think everybody's caught a few perch. Nobody's bragging about big numbers of big fish, but they've been catching a few. The Triangle area seems to be a lot better than Monona Bay itself, but so the Triangle's been producing some bluegills and crappies. Squaw Bay, some bluegills over in that area. I have heard a couple pike back in the Squaw Bay. Mud Lake, some bluegills, crappies, and even the tip-up fishermen having a little bit of bass and pike action. But the bluegills and crappies have been pretty decent for most of the guys there. Not everybody, but most of the guys are doing okay. Lake Wabeesa is iced over. I've heard 5, 6, 7 inches of ice out on the lake there. A few areas with some slush up by Libby Road area there, or Lake Farm Park. The action's been kind of slow there from what I can tell, and there's a little bit of slush off the shoreline there. Some guys have been out in the middle of the lake or down towards the Bible camp. They've been getting a few crappies and a few perch out on the main basin of the lake there. Nobody's getting any limits that I know, but guys are telling me 10, 12 fish at a time sometimes, and some nice sized perch and crappies. I have heard a couple walleyes out on the main basin, and I did talk to some guys that were tip-up fishing out from Christie's last night, and they did catch a couple of small shorts and one legal fish, a walleye out off the edge of the bar out there. Over on Lake Kegonsa, I've been talking to a couple guys fishing down there. They've been taking a few nice perch and a couple crappies out in that deeper water. No big numbers of fish, but some real nice fish. Matter of fact, a few fish, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time, but some nice fish. I haven't heard any bluegill action on Kegonsa yet at all. It's all been in the deep water. And they're all saying about 6, 7 inches of ice out there on the lake. Really, that's about it here locally. I haven't heard anything up on Crystal Lake yet. The grade seems to have slowed down. They're still fishing over on Fox Lake by Beaver Dam over in that area, getting a few crappies and a few walleyes over there, but I don't think it's a real hot bite by any means. And I still hear a few bluegills over by Rock Lake up in the marsh and stuff, but I think that's slowed down too. So that's about all I have for you guys right now, so we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.